Alright guys, so in this video I want to tell you how you can improve your sleep, increase your dreaming, and increase the quality of your awake time. Now, this is my second polyphasic video that I've made. The first one I made almost a year ago, and I was really hyped up on the Uberman sleeping schedule. And again, if you don't know what the Uberman sleeping schedule is, that's where you take a bunch of 20-minute naps every 4 hours, and you basically significantly decrease your sleeping time, but you sort of increase the quality of the sleep because it's so compacted, and you're only getting 2 hours of sleep every 24 hours when you're on that schedule. And you have to be extremely strict with the schedule times when you're on that. You have to take the naps on the dot, which is actually very inconvenient for 99% of people. So there's a new schedule that I'm doing, which is very convenient. It's not difficult, and anyone can do it. So this video is for everyone. So the sleeping schedule is called segmented sleep, and basically all it is, it's where you sleep about 3.5 hours at your normal bedtime. My normal bedtime is around 10 p.m. to midnight. It's within that block of time. I'll go to sleep during that block of time, and then I'll sleep for 3 hours once I go to sleep. So I might go to bed at 10 and then wake up at 1. But other times I'll go to bed at midnight if I'm really, really busy. But I try not to do that. I try to keep it between 10 and 11. So you sleep for about 3.5 hours. Then you're awake for about 2 hours, more or less. 2, 3, maybe 4. And then you go to bed again. And you sleep for about 3.5 hours. But what I'm doing basically is I'm just sleeping as much as I need. So I usually actually sleep a little bit less than 3.5 hours. In fact, I've come to the point where sometimes I wake up before the alarm even goes off, and I feel totally awake. And it's like, whoa, I didn't know you could even do that. So yeah, that's the thing about segmented sleep. And the thing about segmented sleep as well is that, first of all, when you're on monophasic sleep, which is sleeping for about 8 hours per night in one chunk, most people do that, and I don't think that's the best way to sleep because, and some people don't even sleep for 8 hours. Some people sleep for like 13 hours. And if you really think about it, do you think it's good that your body is just laying down in bed doing nothing in the same position for a whole 13 hours with no movement or anything? To me, that's crazy. 8 hours is a little bit better, but it's still 8 whole hours. That's still a huge chunk of time that your body isn't doing anything. That's why when you wake up after 8 hours, you feel very tired, it's hard to wake up, your nose is filled with dust and it's hard to breathe, your eyes have a bunch of eye cheese in it, and your bones and your muscles are really sore, and you're lazy throughout the rest of the day. That's how I feel when I sleep in one big chunk now. Now that I've gotten used to polyphasic sleeping, I don't like going to sleep on the monophasic schedule, because it's just like, who would do that? It's like, it's way too much time doing, like, just like laying there like a whale. I don't know, that's just my opinion. But so yeah, I still can recommend the Uberman sleeping schedule. I was on it a few days after I made that video, and I kind of just stopped doing it. I failed. I couldn't adapt. Well, I couldn't adapt because I kept oversleeping, and you can't adapt to the Uberman schedule if you oversleep. it won't work. So, again, for the folks that watched that video and they wanted to adapt to either Uberman or Everyman, again, you really need someone to help you out doing that. You need to adapt with another person in order for it to actually work. And the adaptation period lasts about 60 days, so that's a big chunk of time when you're not going to be fully conscious, but you'll regain your consciousness and you'll feel normal about after 60 days. So that's what that is. So there's segmented sleep, which is the schedule that I'm basically currently doing, and then there's another schedule called dual core. Now, dual core is pretty much the exact same thing as segmented sleep, except you save a little bit more time, but you're supposed to take a short little nap in the day. So you basically go to bed for 3.5 hours, then you're awake for about 4 hours, then you go to bed for 1.5 hours, then you're awake for 6, and then you take a 20-minute nap, and then you're awake for about 8 hours, and then it restarts the schedule. So what I'm basically doing is I'm kind of doing a mixture of both. Like, I'm kind of on segmented sleep, and I'm also kind of on dual core 1. Basically what I do is, like today for instance, I was on segmented sleep pretty much for several days before today, but today was an unusual day because I got a phone call early in the morning and it actually interrupted my sleep about an hour and a half in. So I just woke up, it was fine. But I did feel a little bit tired throughout the rest of the day, and I'm actually kind of tired right now because that happened. But if that happens, that's totally fine. All you can do, just take a nap in the middle of the day. Take a nap to regain the time lost that you spent in sleep, and you'll get that back and you'll feel fine, I think. So that's kind of what I'm on. I'm kind of doing segmented sleep and or dual core 1. So that's kind of what my schedule is right now, a mixture of both. And when you're on these schedules, again, your dreams will significantly increase. Your dream recall will. You won't necessarily have lucid dreams unless you're kind of experienced in that, but your dream recall will increase, which to me, that's just worth it in and of itself. Even though you're not lucid dreaming, you can still recall your dreams much easier than if you were on monophasic sleep, from my experience. So, that's that. Now what I want to do is show you what it basically looked like on the Zeo here. Oh, this is my dream mask. I'll show you that later. But okay, here is what my sleeping schedule looks like. I'll scroll down so you can see what I was doing ever since the last video I made. Now this does go back quite a bit. I have so much data, but I'm trying to find when I was in Uberman. Oh, I guess I wasn't recording it in Uberman. But anyways, when you're in monophasic sleeping, what your sleeping schedule, it basically looks something along these lines right here. So if you have a Zeo, and again, a Zeo is just this little thing. It's a little headband you wear, and it records. It has these little sensors on it, and it records the types of sleep that you're getting. So this is some data recorded when I was on monophasic sleep, and you can see that I slept for 9 whole hours, all in one chunk here. Now this is what it's going to look like. The red lines is time that you're awake. The gray lines in the middle there is time that you are in light sleep. The dark green is when you are in slow wave sleep. And the light green is when you're in REM.
So you can see most of the time you'll start in light sleep, you'll transition down into deep sleep, and then you'll go it'll go up and down throughout the night. And as you go up and down throughout the night, you generally increase your REM, and then you eventually wake up at some point in time after you're getting so much REM, because you then just start waking up after a while. And you can see that's how it is for pretty much every time. You can see here the REM increases as you keep entering. Wow, I slept for 11 hours this night. Look at that. That is insane. It's probably when I was done with Uberman and I was getting a crap load of sleep. But anyways, let me scroll up. Now this is when I was on Triphasic. This is what my schedule looked like. And Triphasic, again, it was okay, but Triphasic it can get in the way, because you have to take 3 1.5 hour naps, and they're spaced out to where you kind of have to stick to them more or less on time, and it can just kind of be difficult to stick to the schedule, because when you're with family or when you're with friends or anything like that. So segmented sleep is for the average dude that has a lot going on but still wants to increase their sleep quality in some way. So again, this is me on Triphasic sleep. Now each of these naps are different naps throughout the day, so again, I can't tell you which one is which, like what time they are, because I didn't record that. But some of them, of course, you can see that I got more deep sleep than others. Some of them I got more light sleep. Some of them it was very difficult to just sleep during them. As you can see, a lot of red lines there. That one I got mostly deep sleep. And that's the cool thing about Triphasic, is sometimes you'll get periods of time where it's just like that, where it's just like a big chunk of deep sleep or a big chunk of REM. And usually the big chunks of REM are like the best naps, because you wake up like totally refreshed. Okay, so this time I slept a little bit longer. I slept for 2 hours, whereas up here in this one I slept for just an hour and 30 minutes. So that's that. You can see my data. If you want to pause this video and look at any of these in detail, I guess you could do that. But you can see each night is kind of different. I kind of skipped certain nights, etc. So I'm going to go all the way up into what I've been doing recently. So what I've been doing recently is just segmented sleep, which is it's nice. It's much better than monophasic sleep. So you can see here I've been taking naps. Most of the naps last about 3 hours, 2 minutes, 3 hours. I usually wake up before the alarm. So it's about 3 hours. Sometimes it's like 2 hours. Sometimes it's 4. So anywhere from 2 to 4 hours I'll sleep. And what you want to do, what I found, is that if you wake up, like let's take a look at this nap right here. February 4th. When you wake up, you want to wake up during light sleep or during REM sleep. I'm not sure which one is better, but I think waking up during REM would be the best time to wake up. Again, don't quote me on that, but that's just what I think as of right now. If anyone has any more info on that, write a comment down below. But yeah, I think waking up in REM is better than waking up at light sleep, because when you wake up in REM, it's just easier to wake up during a REM period than it is with the light sleep. But again, I don't know. Light sleep, it would also make sense that would totally be easy to wake up from too. So yeah. So all I'm saying with that is that you don't really want to wake up during a deep sleep. It'll happen sometimes, but it's not most ideal. So yeah, that's basically what the schedule looks like. and I've just felt that my sleep quality has increased. I have more dreams, and I feel better during the day. And it helps to get a schedule going, because if you're just on your own and you do that thing, where you're working on the computer and then you're up all night and then you crash into bed and you just crash for 8 hours, and you don't really have a schedule, that can be kind of hard on your body. That's not ideal. So going on a sleep schedule really helps, like, just with the rest of your life. So, and also with the dreaming. Now I want to talk about the dreaming. The dreaming, I'll talk about the different supplements that I've discovered. Now, if this is something extra, you don't need to do this. But if you do want to experiment with increasing your dream and dream quality and maybe having more lucid dreams, this is the way to go. So, here's the different things that I've got. Okay, there's this thing, which I'll leave links to all these down in the description. So this thing, I got this off Amazon, and I don't really like this. This is basically for monophasic sleepers, so I wouldn't recommend this. Basically, all this does is it'll push your brain into deep sleep. Like it'll like make it go into deep sleep really fast throughout the first half of the night, and then because you're in deep sleep so much, it'll then have a rebound effect where it then increases your time in REM significantly on the second half of your sleep block of 8 hours. So doing that's for monophasic sleepers, and again, that did work sort of the first time, but I can't recommend it really. It was just, I don't know, it felt kind of weird. Now there is a lot of vitamins in them, as you can see here, which supposedly, it helps you. Those should maybe help your sleep, but I don't know. Now the second thing is this. Again, I'll leave a link to this in the description. This, you're gonna want to take this in combination with this one. So this one, you're gonna want to take 1 tablet, and this one, you're gonna want to take 2 tablets. So you're gonna take 3 tablets all together on your second stage of sleeping. So you're going to sleep for about 3 hours, you're going to be awake for about 2 to 4 hours, and then when you go back to bed, you're going to take all 3 of those together, and then you will be able to potentially, that'll even increase your dream recall even more. So you might even have a lucid dream when you go on those things, but again, you're going to want to read up on lucid dreaming to really get more experience with that. That's all I got to say. So that's what that is. Now, also that supposedly helps with memory function, which again, that makes sense because it helps your dream recall. So, yeah, this is considered one thing. Now, there is another thing. It's a natural thing, so this might appeal to some other people, but it's called Kalea Zakatachichi, and this is it's basically like it's like a herb, and you can put it in tea. But when you put Kalea Zakatachichi and you make it as a tea, the tea is extremely bitter and it's very difficult to drink. It's actually very uncomfortable to try to drink that, so I wouldn't really recommend it as a tea. So what I figured out is what you can do is buy them in capsules from a website. It looks like I got this from Gaia's Delights. I got this online. I don't remember where I got it from, but apparently that might have been the site. So, yeah, there's that Kalea Zakatachichi in capsules. That did work pretty well. Oh my god. The first time I took Kalea Zakatachichi, I had the craziest dream, and it was actually really violent and gory. Um, the second half of the dream, but the first half was actually really crazy. I was like in this desert, and there was like this square UFO like floating above me, and it was like a rectangle, and it was like rotating above me, and I was just like looking up at it. It was crazy and really cool. But yeah. And now what you can also do, if I also got this along with that, with the first capsule bottle I showed you, if this thing would focus. And I think this is Triphasic. I'm pretty sure it is. It looks like it. So what you could do, if for whatever reason, if you did get this for whatever reason, and it did come with the Triphasic, what you could do is grind this stuff up and then put it in a clear gel capsule and then swallow it. That way you won't have to put it in a tea, which is really uncomfortable to drink, and you're not going to have to smoke it either, because smoking it would probably hurt your throat. So yeah, putting it in a capsule I found is the best way to go. That you have to practice lucid dreaming, like it's literally like a thing that you have to consciously practice doing. I'm not the best at lucid dreaming. I think I've only had I think 1 or 2 lucid dreams, and I'm not even sure if those were technically lucid dreams or if they were just really vivid dreams. So again, and lucid dreaming is where you can fully control your entire dream. You're completely conscious inside of your dream, which is really cool. But again, this video is not telling you how to do that, because I don't really know how to do that. Well, I do actually. I'll tell you that in a minute. But basically, here, let me just go through the materialistic things that you can get that could maybe help you out. So this is called a REMI. And what this is, it's just a sleep mask that you can program, and it's actually really nice and comfortable. But basically what it is you put it on and you can program it to flash lights. So you put these up to your eyes and your eyes are closed, and basically after a certain amount of time, this will go away, by the way. It's not on when you're sleeping. It turns off, and then after a certain period of time, the time that you program it will turn back on, and the lights will start flashing for the time of period that you've set it at. So I have mine set to flash after 3 hours, or maybe it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. So I put this on only my second block of sleep, because that's the only time that I would really be having dreams, would be during that time period. Or I would have dreams during the day when I take a nap, if I take a nap. And again, it's really easy to have dreams when you're just taking naps. So, and when I'm not wearing that sleep mask, I have another one, but I don't know where it is right now. That's the one I use. I have just a regular sleeping mask that I use when I go to bed for my first nap. And again, if you didn't see the first video I made, because it's like an hour long, I leave all the lights on when I sleep, and then I just have the sleeping mask over it, and then I have 1 to 3 alarms go off, so I can be sure that I'm awake. And again, I sleep with the lights on just because when you take the sleep mask off, you're blasted with light, and it helps you wake up more. Whereas if you're just in a dark room, it would be harder to wake up. So that's that. Now, there is another mask that I actually have, because I'm really into experimenting with lots of different things. So this is one mask, and this is very comfortable. That's the upside of the REMI, okay? It's extremely comfortable to wear. Now there is this one, this is better. This is called a REM Dreamer, and this one is a little bit different. What this is this, okay, this, it actually has sensors on it. So, let me just see if I can. So there is like little sensors right here, and basically you put this up to your head. You know, it's on like a sleeping mask, and those sensors actually read when your eyes are moving around in your dream, and when you're moving around, when your eyes are moving around, that is when you are in REM sleep. That's called rapid eye movement sleep, and that is the time period when you're dreaming. So it will start flashing the lights only when it detects that you're in REM sleep. So that's the advantage of this thing, is that you can use it without having to really program it. But again, it's kind of uncomfortable. It's kind of like wearing a big bulky helmet thing on your head, so it's not the best for that. There is another one that I'm aware of. I don't know what it is yet. I just forgot what it is. I think it's called a Nova Dreamer 2 or Nova Dreamer 3 or something like that. I don't have it. I don't know what it is, but I think the Nova Dreamer one is similar to this one, but it's more comfortable. So I'm not sure. I'll try to leave a link down in the description if I can remember to. But that's how to increase dreams. So that's this part of this video. Now, again, you don't need to have any of this stuff to increase your dreaming. You don't need the supplements, you don't need the Kalea Zakadashichi, and you don't need the Remy mask. If you just go on segmented sleep, you will increase your dream recall. Like, I don't have a doubt about that. And if you don't, leave a comment down below and tell me so I know about that. But yeah, that's how to increase your dreams. Now I'm going to tell you general tips on how to increase your overall sleep health and just your overall holistic health in general. So, the first thing is plants. Now, there's certain types of plants you can get, but I'll tell you the three different, I think there's like 2 or 3 of them. This one is called a snake plant. Again, it produces oxygen, and it gets rid of, I think it gets rid of like CO2 in the air or something, and it produces fresh oxygen. Again, I would have to read the article again to memorize everything, but it's good to have lots of plants around in your house because they just, again, they produce a bunch of oxygen, they help you sleep, and they get rid of like harmful chemicals and stuff that are in the house air. Now what I've done here is I've got this like plastic pot, and then I have like there's a thing called a smart pot in this. It's like, can't really see it, but it's like a fabric pot. So it's like a pot within a pot. But the reason why I did that is because the smart pot, it's better to have your plants in smart pots because you can't overwater them if they're in smart pots, and the root structure will grow way more efficiently than if you were to just put a bunch of dirt in a regular plastic pot. You could still do that, but it's just a little bit better to have the smart pots if you can. So this brown pot has like a water storage area down here, like a little vessel, like about that thick of just empty space. And when I overwater it, the water will go down, it'll sink through the smart pot, the fabric, and then the water will just kind of rest down here. And there's a plug on the bottom of this with a hole, but the plug is always in it. So this pot won't drain, and it's not messy at all. It's the most cleanest, efficient thing I could find. So if you just want to know about that, if you want to get plants in your house, that's what I'd recommend. Getting a plastic pot, and then getting these smart pots and putting the smart pots in the plastic pots. And the smart pots need to be 2 inches smaller than the plastic pots. So if you get a smart pot, make sure it's 10 inches, and you'll be putting the 10-inch smart pot in a 12-inch regular pot. So that may sound like a lot of little technical details that I just gave you, but that isn't. I spent a lot of time figuring this out, so I want to get this information out to help other people, so they don't have to go through the same thing. So yeah, that's that plant, the snake plant. And now there's also these other plants called Dracaena plants. So again, same thing. There is the smart pot right there, little fabric stuff, and then the soil is in that. And then smart pot is in the regular pot. And there's the water vessel with all these pots. So that's what that is. You water them once a week, you know, whatever. It's just plants. Peace lily. These are also very, very good. So again, there's snake plants, which is what that is. There's peace lilies, which is what that is. And then there's these plants called Dracaena plants. Now there's a whole wide variety of Dracaena plants. Dracaena, I don't know how to pronounce it, but there's a whole wide variety of them. You can read the articles and try to find out which ones to get, but anything that says Dracaena on it, I think that would be okay. So again, the Dracaena plants I'm pretty sure that's a type of Dracaena. That one down there is a Dracaena. These are peace lilies, and that's a certain, I don't know what that plant is, but it does produce oxygen. These are just what are these called? Palms. This is a Majesty palm, but the best palm you could get would be a I forgot what they call it, a Akina palm or something like that. I'll link the article down below. But having lots of plants in your house is good because you get lots of oxygen. And this is again Dracaena plants, and this is a spider plant. So lots of different sizes, lots of different things you can get. But again, you don't really need to get this stuff. This is just a bunch of extra stuff I'm showing you. So again, Dracaena, and another spider plant. Spider plants are really, really nice. I think spider plants are like my favorite plant because they're just really, they don't take up a lot of space. The plant is just going up vertically, so it's like really efficient space-wise. And now there is another thing that you can do that supposedly helps your sleep, and that would be to get a negative ion generator. Basically, it's just an air purifier. Different air purifiers have negative ion generators in them. This one also does. I think, is it on right now? Now it's on. So that little thing, now it's producing negative ions. Now again, this is very controversial. I don't know exactly what a negative ion is, but supposedly negative ions are when you are underneath a waterfall or something like that, and the water molecules have a negative charge, and because the water molecules get mixed up in the air, you'll get more negative ions, and that supposedly is more beneficial for your body. Again, I couldn't find any actual studies on that proving that, but I've read it in certain areas online, so it may or may not be true. So again, having an air purifier that produces negative ions might be beneficial. So if you really want to go overboard and do every little tiny tip I'm telling you, that might help, but I can't guarantee it. Okay, so that's that. Another tip is exercising. When you exercise, you will get more deep sleep during the first period of your time. Like, you'll just get more deep sleep. So again, and that's good. I think that's good because what you would be doing then is, instead of having a bunch of sleep be a bunch of light sleep, what you would be doing is decreasing the light sleep and then increasing the time in deep sleep, which I think would be better. And then even when you're in deep sleep, then you're going to get the rebound effect where you get more REM on your second chunk of your second nap. So exercising would probably be beneficial because you would get more deep sleep and you would get rid of the light sleep, which is theoretically that's useless sleep that you don't really need. So you would just be getting the deep sleep and the REM sleep, which is the most beneficial types of sleep. Okay, so I got that tip. Now, let's go down and give you more tips. So this one is more of one of the better ones. What you can do is you can be upside down you can chill out upside down for about 20 minutes before you go to bed. So, or just 20 minutes during the day. I don't think it really matters when you do it. But what this is called an inversion table, and what this does is that it tilts, you lay in it and you lock your feet down there, you lay in it and then you tilt upside down. You literally tilt so you're hanging upside down. And what that does is that puts a bunch of blood in your head, and what you do is you just put your arms back like this, and then you just chill out upside down. And what this does is you're probably gonna be seeing veins and stuff in my head, but what this does is it gets a bunch of blood in your head, and when you do that, your brain functions better. So I actually heard that your brain functions like 13% better when you're doing this, or after you do it. So that's good. You don't have to do the full upside down thing. You can just lay down kind of diagonally, and it's a lot easier on your head if you're not used to it. You got to work your way up. I want to do 20 minutes right when you get this thing. I would do maybe like 5 minutes one day, and then work your way up to 20 minutes each session you do. But doing this will help get the oxygen flowing in your head, and this increases your sleep quality, and it just increases your overall health. And it also increases the original reason why I got this inversion table was because when you're sitting all day long, the bones near your lower spine are really like compact and compressing because you're putting all that weight down in that little area. So what this machine does, this inversion table, is that it sort of realigns your spine and all the discs and stuff, and just kind of puts them back in a better position. If you think of it as like a general principle, you can think of it like you want to get a whole range of movement throughout the day, I would say. So I have a computer table, a computer desk, and I stand up on that desk half the time, and I sit down at the desk half the time. It's a custom-made desk because I'm on the computer almost all day working. So I should probably get more exercise in my life, but hey, maybe you could pick up the slack. So yeah. That's all I'm saying, is that I think it's good to have a good range of positions throughout the day. So maybe half the day you're standing, half the day you're sitting, a little bit of the day you refresh your discs and your spinal cord and everything by being completely upside down, and then the other time you'll be sleeping, which you're now horizontal. So as you can see, you get a whole range. You're up vertically, you're sitting down, you're laying down, and you're completely upside down. So a whole range of different positions. I think doing that it's just better overall for your body. So, okay, I'll get off this thing. Okay, so that's that. You unlock the thing, and then you get off of it, So you can do that. You can work your way up for like 20 minutes. 20 minutes a day, or whatever time you want to do. Now, the next thing you can do is take fish oil about once a day if you want to. That supposedly helps your sleep. Okay. Now, some more things I want to tell you. Chia seeds, if you're on polyphasic sleeping, getting chia seeds will help your energy. So I put these on, like, anything that I eat, I'll just put these on whenever I can remember to put them on. Same thing with sesame seeds. Those are just, supposedly those are good for you. You might as well take them. Turmeric, it's also a good thing to have, but it doesn't really help your sleep. I don't think it's just good to have it because it's supposedly beneficial. And again, vitamins, that's probably not bad to take one of those a day, but again, I can't, I'm more skeptical about these than I am with any of this other stuff. Now another tip is to stay away from buckets of donuts. You don't want to eat a lot of donuts that are just in buckets. That's not the best idea. There's a place called Voodoo Donuts, and you know, I bought this today with my friend, and we were just eating a few of them. They were the old donuts. They're getting away, and they just threw them in a bucket, and they sell them every now and then. So that's that. As you can see, I have more plants in here. I've tried to put plants everywhere. So I have another snake plant, 2 more spider plants. That's what those are, spider plants. So that's that. And again, now that I'm giving you all these health tips, I might as well give you more health tips just for the sake of it. So again, eat a lot of vegetables and stay away from donuts. That's basically what I can say. And when you eat breakfast in the morning, what I would recommend is instead of eating regular oatmeal, the regular flattened oatmeal, there's actually this thing called oat groats, which is, these are supposedly the best type of oatmeal that you can get, because they haven't been modified in any way. They're like the original, like as close as you can get to the source of good oatmeal. So those will have the most nutrition in the oat groats. So just look that up online if you can. So that's that. And yeah, okay, more food stuff. Drinking green tea would probably want to be too bad. There is this bedtime tea, but I usually do not drink that. I'm not sure if it would be good to drink this if you're on segmented sleep. It would be good to drink if you're on monophasic sleep, I can tell you that for sure. But I'm not sure if it would be good to do on segmented sleep. And if you did take this, you would only want to take it your first your first nap. Your second nap, I wouldn't take it. And again, cereal, just try to get natural stuff. Don't try to get Fruit Loops or anything like that. And try to stay away from cereal in general. Try to stick with either vegetables or, oat groats. That's better. And sugar, get rid of sugar and start using xylitol. Because it tastes just like sugar, but it's not bad for your teeth. And it doesn't raise your blood sugar. So stop using sugar on cereal or oatmeal and start using xylitol, because you can have as much xylitol as you want and you're totally fine. Well, I shouldn't say that. You don't want to overload on xylitol, but you can use it within reason. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah. Then this is what I eat. Look at this. I try to stay away from dairy, and I try to just drink coconut milk, which is supposedly that's a lot better for you because it doesn't have the hormones in it and everything. And this, I just get a bunch of vegetables, I chop them up and put them in this thing. So I eat that pretty much every single day. So enough about food. That's just about it for food. I probably went way off on the food thing, spending way too much time talking about food. But I want this video to be a really good video with lots of information for people that want to just increase their overall health and life. And everything that I'm saying is speculative. So do not take the information in this video as factual. This is only stuff that I've read about, and it's only my own subjective thought. So don't take it as factual evidence, because it's not. I'm just telling you everything that I think would help you. Now that there's going to be, there's going to be 2 more things I'm going to tell you that are, I'm really getting skeptical about these things, because these things I really can't say they work or not. I got them just because I wanted to experiment with them, but again, I'm really pushing it. So these 2 things, just be skeptical about the things I'm about to show you right now. So, there's this thing called an earthing mat. Now what this thing is, supposedly, I don't know if this is, if this really does what it says it does, but this is an earthing sheet, and what this is it has silver lining. See these little rectangles here? That is actually silver lining throughout the sheet. And what that does is it will pick up, supposedly, the charge, the electric charge that is stored away in your body. And there's this little cord here that attaches. And what this does is it will, take all this stuff, and it will take the electricity, supposedly, and put it, and it will go through this cord, and the cord is connected just to the grounds of the outlet. So that is equivalent to taking a wire, sticking it in the sheet, and then taking the wire and then putting it in the ground outside. It's the exact same concept. Now again, I don't know exactly how this works. I don't know if it actually works or not. So be very skeptical about this. Do more research about it, because I don't know a whole lot about it. But I just got it because I want to experiment with it. Supposedly, again, it takes the electricity out of your body, if that's actually there, and then it puts it in the ground. And you can objectively measure its effect using an actual machine. If you get 2 electrodes or whatever, it'll actually display the number. And I'll try to show you videos on that if I can. I'll leave them down in the description down below, so you can search for that there. Now here's the exact same thing that I have at my desk. These will only work if you are in direct skin-to-skin contact. So this mat right here, you would have to be standing on it with your bare feet in order for it to work at all. If you're standing on it with shoes or socks, it will not work. And again, it's the exact same thing. There's a plug right here. This is made out of a certain special material, and the electricity will go down and go in the grounds unit, and that will just neutralize, so you're not being, you don't have a bunch of electromagnetic frequencies and stuff going through your body. Again, I'm not going to tell you the science behind it. You got to look at that into yourself, because I don't know much about it. Okay, one more tip, and that tip would be to use to rinse your nostrils out, your sinuses, with this thing. You put lukewarm water in this, and you put salt in the bottle, and then you wash your nostrils out with it, and that will clear out your sinuses. Again, the benefits are supposed to be like objectively beneficial for everyone. And again, like I don't think there's any downside to using one of those things. So you might as well do it every single day that you get up. There's lots of people I know that do this, and it's supposed to help you out. Just because you get more air, your sinuses are cleared, you're breathing better, and when you breathe better, you get more oxygen in your brain and throughout your whole body. It's just like everything I'm telling you is kind of like holistic health stuff. So just doing one little thing will help the rest of your entire body, basically. So that's what we want to aim for. So stay away from junk food, stay away from donuts that are in buckets, and do all the things I told you. And I think that wraps it up. Yeah, and if you want to be if you're really paranoid, you might want to try a quantum pendant, because that might help you. But I have another video on that where I try to I'm very skeptical about that thing. So, yeah, that's that. Oh, one more tip. I told you to exercise, but that will exercise your body, but you also need to exercise your brain in a way. You need to work out your brain. How do you do that? By meditating. If you meditate, that will have... There's so many benefits to meditating that it's just ridiculous. Like, I seriously think that people should learn how to meditate in schools, because I think that would just help, like, the planet just, like, objectively help. Like, you like, the benefits of meditation are, like, that's, like, irrefutable. If just look it up. There's so many benefits to meditation. So I would also practice meditating. And that's the other thing. When you're on polyphasic sleep, meditation is actually really good, because you can even decrease your time sleeping if you meditate more, because your brain is getting rest and you're, like, resetting your mind. And a really good way to practice meditation is to use isolation tanks. Again, that's another thing that will significantly help your sleep. It, like, resets your sleep cycles. So again, I have a separate video on that. Just look that up, isolation tanks. That'll really help with your sleep. And just regular meditation too. I'm learning more about it every day. So maybe I'll make a whole video on meditation. I don't know. So yeah, quick rundown of everything, so you don't forget. For the lucid dreams, you're gonna want to do segmented sleep is just gonna help with lucid dreams just automatically. You don't need anything more than that. But if you want a little extra kick, you can use the supplements. You can use the fish oil. You can use the dream mask. And you can also look up lucid dreaming online to learn how to do that. With lucid dream, okay, maybe I'll just tell you a little of what I know. So with lucid dreaming, so how to have a lucid dream, again, I'm not the best person to go through this because I don't know a whole lot about it, but there's books on it and there's lots of information online, so you just got to look at that up. But what I know is that you're going to want to take a dream, you're going to want to, when you're in your second nap, that's when you'll be having dreams. So after you wake up, you're going to want to have a dream journal and write down everything, every dream that you can remember immediately when you get up, so it's fresh in your memory, because you'll forget your dreams. Like, you will forget them. So write down every detail that you can in as much detail as possible right after you wake up from your dream. And do that for about a week to a month, or for a significant period of time. After you've collected enough entries in your dream journal, look for a pattern in your dreams. So, and look, the pattern that you find will be a dream symbol. And what that is it's a recurring pattern that happens every time when you find yourself dreaming. So for me, a common dream symbol that I have is any pattern that relates to school. So for instance, I might see a classmate that I had in high school, or I might be visiting an actual school or a college itself. And anything that is to do with school, that's when you know that you can then become conscious. So you just got to kind of tell your mind to wake up, or not wake up, but just become conscious when you notice your dream symbol when you're dreaming. It's really hard to explain. I probably should make another video on this, but that's all I know. So you're going to want to keep a dream journal, find a pattern, and then throughout the day be doing reality checks. So in other words, basically what you're going to want to do is throughout the day, you're going to want to look down at your hands or look at a clock or something, and do that throughout the day, every single day that you can. Then, once you're dreaming and you notice that a dream symbol, you're going to want to remind yourself to look down at your hands. And when you look down at your hands, they will look different in some way. That's when you will know that you're dreaming, and that is when you will come to the realization that you can then become conscious in your dreams. Now again, I'm not a lucid dream master. I really don't know a whole lot about it, but that's all I know. So you're gonna have to look that up again. So, all right, so that's it. Yeah, segmented sleep. For polyphasers, go to segmented sleep, and then if you want to, go to do core, and that's dual core is like probably the best schedule to be on. But if you want to experiment with other ones, Triphasic is another one it's easy. But again, the schedule is kind of hard to keep up with. And then if you really want to start pushing things, you can go to Everyman, and then Uberman. Uberman's the hardest. Everyman is easier, and Triphasic I think is even easier than Everyman. But segmented sleep and dual core are the easiest. So that's that. That's all the information I got. If you guys have any other tips, leave comments down below. And I'll see you in the next video if I ever actually make one. So, see ya.